All right, today we're going to do 457 divided by 3. I've built my 457 here with base 10 blocks, and my divisor is represented by these 3 plates because dividing something means splitting a number up into equal groups. So that means that the rule is every plate has to have the exact same number of blocks. That's really important to emphasize. Every plate must have the exact same number of blocks. All right, let's start with our hundreds place. This is a little counterintuitive to what kids learn in addition and subtraction because our shortcut, our algorithmic shortcut for addition and subtraction is to start with the ones. In division, our Western algorithm is to start with the hundreds. So that's something worth talking about with the students. All right, we've got 4 hundreds. How can we divide that equally into 3 parts? Let's physically do it. 1, 1, 1. Okay, remember the rule, every plate has to have the exact same amount. So we need to stop here because this cannot be further split equally into 3 parts. So we'll decide what to do with that in a second. I now have 100. How many do I have in each plate? I have 100. So in algorithm, this 1 represents how many are in each group. Now let's go back. We need to keep dividing this up till they're all gone. What do I do with this 100? I can regroup. So I'm going to regroup this. Instead of calling it 100, I'm going to call it 10 tens. And what does that help me do? Well, that gives me more options to now divide this up further. So how many hundreds did I have? I had 3 hundreds that I had divvied up here. And you could write 300, but if we want to follow the standard algorithm, you can just tell the kids, oh, this is a shortcut. We're just going to talk about the hundreds column right now. Let's pretend the tens and ones don't even exist. All right, so I ended up with 100, and I changed that 100 into 10 tens. So how many tens do I have now? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 tens, which is really 150. But we're just going to talk about the tens right now, not worry about the ones. We're just going to call this 15 tens. How many of these can I put into each plate? Well, the kids could go ahead and do 1 at a time. Okay, if they're not ready to do it more quickly, they can do 1 at a time. Or they might be able to tell you, oh, if there's 15 10 sticks, I know that each plate must have 5. Because I know 15 divided by 3 is 5. And again, you kind of have to gauge where your child is at. All right, remember the rule is every plate has to have the exact same amount, and they do. How much is in just 1 plate? 5. All right, I put 5 10 sticks. Notice it's in the tens column. I put 5 tens into each plate. How many tens are left? Well, let's see, I put in a total of 15. 5, 10, 15. I have 0 tens left. How many ones do I now have to deal with? Now we're ready for the ones. Well, I've got 7 ones left. How am I going to divide that up? Let's go ahead and start. You can ask them, is that going to be even? Are there going to be leftovers? It's good for them to make predictions. And yes, there's going to be 1 left over. I've got 2 in each plate. So how many were able to be divided up? 6 were able to be divided up, but this one little guy was left out. There's nothing else left. Now, later on in 5th grade, we do learn we can cut this up into decimals, right? But if you're just doing remainders, we would call this remainder 1.